Hello, welcome to Mind class. Today we're going to be working on the floor. So the equipment you'll need is just a mat. I have out my little pads for my knees, so if you have something to put your knees on, if you'd like, a folded up washcloth or hand towel, and a folded up sweatshirt or t-shirt would work just fine too, okay? So maybe a sweatshirt's too bulky, maybe a t-shirt, but it's just something soft for your knees if you need it. We're going to be working, like I said, on the floor, so we're going to be starting on the floor. We're really not getting up off of the floor. We will go through our mobility, our stability, so some balance work, a lot of core balance work, and then head into flexibility. Each section will be about 10 minutes. We'll flow through the movements at your own pace. Please do not worry about keeping up with me. Just follow along with me. Play your own music. I have a little something playing in the background, but you probably won't hear it. That's more just to keep that part of my brain busy while we're doing our class today. So let's go ahead and start on the mat. We're going to start in a kneeling position. If kneeling today bothers your knees at all, feel free to stand and modify, make adjustments, okay? If you're tracking on your watch, you can count today as yoga, I'm going to do, and we will begin. Excuse me. All right. So from a kneeling position, center of your mat, we start our timer. If you hear the beeps, it's just we're transitioning, okay? So don't worry about, and if we're off with the beeps, then that's okay too, don't worry about that. So we're on our knees, we're gonna come up nice and tall, put my space here, so that your shoulders are stacked over your hips, over your knees, okay? So directly underneath your hips, you can balance either with your top of your feet flat behind you, or if you need to curl your toes under in the back, that's fine too. Hands come out to the side, either to your temples or your forehead. And we're gonna take a prisoner bow. So we're gonna fold forward, let our bottom drop back just a little bit, and then come back on up. So a little fold or hinge forward at the hips. Chest is proud, shoulder blades are drawn back. Open up your elbows. Fold down. Just enough. This is your range of motion. So you're going to find a spot where you feel comfortable and then lift right back up again. Don't force it. So my bottom does sink back towards my heels a little bit, just like in child's pose. And I'm working on my hips here, okay? Sinking back with the hips. All right, taking your hands to prayer. We're going to rotate. If you'd like to sink back on your heels now with your butt, you can. And then you're going to open up your chest. And then we're going to go in the other direction. Prayer. Rotate. If you prefer to stay up tall, stay up tall. This doesn't feel super comfortable for my knees, so I'm going to come up tall. And you just have to play around with it and see what works for you. Rotate in prayer. Twist through your spine. Rotate your torso, then open your chest. Turn. Center. Open. Turn. Center. Open. Find your pacing. Let's go ahead and take our hands right down by our sides here. We're going to side bend, reaching towards your knee. Coming back to neutral center and switch and do the other side. So what our goal here is to keep your shoulders in line with your hips and your knees. So we're not bending forward or backwards. It's completely to the side. Slide, open up your oblique. Make some space between your rib cage and your hip bone. We work that a lot, so let's open up that muscle and extend, elongate. This should feel really nice if you've been showing up to class because we've been doing a lot of oblique work. And you're taking your time, you're holding it when you need to hold it, you're coming back to neutral in between each. All right, this is my most challenging one. So we're going to reach up overhead, arch your chin towards the ceiling, arch back a little bit into worship, and then release. When you release, you come back to neutral. Try to hold yourself up. You don't want to be falling backwards today, right? And it could just be a little chin reach to the ceiling, and your arms sway back just slightly when you do that. So what are you doing with your toes right now? Are they flat on the ground? Do you need to anchor yourselves by curling them under? I'm going to try a little bit of both and see which one works better for me. If I curl them under, I get a little bit of a bigger worship. All right, release your arms, come down to all fours. Let's take our right elbow out to the side, fingertips to the temple, to the forehead. We're going to rotate open. Even take your fingertips towards your armpit if you want. And then we're going to come down. Open. And then down. So play with your hand placement. What's best for you? So I'm putting mine right here like I have a shot put in my neck. You ever did track and field and did shot put? You know what I'm talking about? If you never did, you have no idea. Basically, I'm pretending like there's a ball right here underneath my chin. And I'm just going to hold my hand here, rest it, just my fingertips kind of on my jawline. Open and release. Open. Knees stay over the hip or under the hips. We've got our weight bearing in 3 points, our 2 knees and our hand. Let's switch sides. Open, rotate. And not quite threading my elbow through. I'm drawing my elbow close to my forearm, but I'm not drawing it all the way through. If you can get there and draw it through, you're welcome to. Find your sweet spot. Goal here is to really reach your elbow towards the ceiling. That's the focus, okay? Rotating through your spine, opening your chest, squeezing your shoulder blades together at the top here, and opening your elbow to the ceiling. That's the focus. That's where I want you to think about it. Holding just for a couple seconds. Open, open, open. Get a little further each reach. Release your arm, hands underneath your shoulders, knees underneath your hips, cat-cow. It's just like what you think it is. We're going to go ahead and tilt our tailbone under, tuck your chin, round out your shoulder blades. I want you to come really high with your shoulders, okay? So think about your shoulder blades reaching, lifting, push the ground away from you. Hollow out your center. Turn to the side here. So my shoulders, I'm trying to really reach them far away from the ground. So regular cat-cow, I'm just kind of curving my spine right like this, okay? I want you to go further, deeper, really reach and arch and work through the shoulders. Does that make sense if I show you that difference between rounding out with the shoulders, lifted, and just your spine tilted? Okay? So make it bigger. Is essentially what I'm saying here. All right, let's go ahead and take one leg forward. One leg can either be held back in a low lunge or drop your knee. We're going to open, twisted low lunge. Switch and do the other side. So again, if you want to keep it down on your knees, keep it real easy breezy today. Just come to all fours and then switch. Otherwise, come to a plank and switch, okay? Bear a little bit more weight in your upper body. Rotate, open, make it a little bit bigger. Hold your back leg tight, okay? Hold your back leg straight, heel to the back wall, and open up your hip flexor as you reach if you're in a straight leg. We're alternating sides here. Time for one more. And then we're going to walk both feet in. So you can stay low, walk both feet in, and we're going to rock it side to side. It's almost like that frog squat, rock yourself heel to heel. If staying down too, I have a lot of weight in my hands too, by the way. I've got like evened out between my 4 points, 2 hands, 2 feet. If it's too much to be down that low, you can rock kind of here, okay? Hands on your thighs, not your knees. I will tell you, probably a deeper, better stretch if you can get yourself down to the ground, okay? So try it, it's almost like a monkey or gorilla. Get your hands down, even if you could get your knuckles down, thumbs out, and rock it side to side, okay? This is a lot of mobility on your hips. So if you have really tight hips, really tight hamstrings, getting down this far might be a big challenge, okay? Sit it all the way down. We've got kind of a V-sit going here. We're gonna swivel our hips to side to side. So I have my knees spread just enough, my feet opened just enough, so that my knee can come down to the ground on both sides. Okay, if your legs are a little bit tight, you might end up with your knee on your ankle. See the difference? So if you can, open it up just a little bit more, open up your gate, so that your knees can make it to the ground. And then bonus is if you do it no-handed and you really work on your mobility, you're pretty mobile. Mobile, which word would you say? Which way do you say it? I feel like it's your mobile phone, but you're very mobile if it's in your body. Does it make, I don't know, you tell me. Okay, next up. Headed into stability. So for stability, let's start kind of in a straddle. It doesn't have to be a huge, big straddle, just a straddle, okay? And we're gonna take our arms out to a T position. We're going to reach towards our opposite foot, shin, calf, whatever you can reach, and then we're gonna switch and go the other direction. You can point or flex your foot. I'm gonna try flex, see how that feels. Or kind of a neutral place for your foot. I'd suggest trying all of them. Try flexed, which just means your toe comes to the ceiling. You try pointed, which means your toe goes to the wall. Don't like that one as much. I'm going back to flex. It gives a deeper stretch if you flex your foot and point your toe to the ceiling. Each time, see if you can reach a little further. Maybe one side, oh yeah, you can reach further than the other. Try and even it out. All right, we're going right into an L-sit, so our legs are straight ahead of us. We're gonna sit on our sit bones. And we're gonna come up nice and tall, arms overhead. And an L-sit, this is it, this is our hold. So I said this section was our stability, our balance. So think about your core right here, sitting nice and tall. So if you find yourself slouched, or if you're struggling to get your arms up and you kind of are hunched over, or I want you to sit up so that your shoulders are stacked over your hips. Then reach up. If straight arms overhead is too much and your shoulders are really in your ears, then bend them a little bit. Otherwise, I want the shoulders down and away. You've got your blades retracted in the back and your fingertips are reaching tall. This is almost like a warrior one position with your hands as we're sitting, drawing our belly buttons in towards our spine in our L-sit. All right, go ahead and release. Roll down one vertebrae at a time. Arms overhead. And we're going to take a C curve, okay? So you're going to lift yourself up if you need to. Let's start with what I want it to look like. I want it to look like arms forward, C curve. You look like the letter C, and then I'm going to roll that down. If you need to, you can come prayer hands and then reach forward. That's what I was going to tell you to modify. I'd like you to try the full, I'll say it, it's a sit-up, the full sit-up, the full reach. One vertebrae peels off at a time, reach, reach, reach. I mean, talk about a full spinal. roll through. Pretty cool. One more. So you'll stay seated up. I can talk today. I promise I can talk today. So you see how I struggled there at the end, but I didn't let momentum help me out. I used my muscle. Okay, so bend your knees. We're gonna come into a V-sit. So we're here. That's it, just holding our V-sit here. You can put your heels on the floor, toes to the ceiling, knees, so we want hips, knees, toes parallel, palms to the ceiling or the sky. And if you would like, you can straighten out. Okay, that's if you'd like to challenge yourself a little bit more, or you can float between the two. Okay, you may also practice lifting your heels off the ground and holding your V-sit here. So there's various ways we can do this balance pose, this stability pose. Hands come facing towards your butt, legs come out straight. Reverse plank, lifting your hips to the ceiling. You can hold, you can drop down and lift. You can come to a bent knee, reverse tabletop. You have options, okay? So do what works for you. You can also do a one leg and then switch. Okay, this is our reverse plank hold, and those are all the ways you can do it. So pick one, or pick two, or pick three, and work it. I'm gonna work on a full reverse plank, squeezing my glutes, taking my heels into the ground, trying to get my feet parallel and my knees parallel and not roll out into my thighs, which is what my body wants to naturally do. So I'm trying to keep everything steady through the center. Release, we're coming to a side plank. So this can be on your elbow, your knee, your toe, your hand. I'm gonna go elbow and knee. If you'd like to, you can do elbow and toes. If you'd like to, you can go hand and knee. And if you'd like to, you can go hand and toe. I showed you all the variations. I'm gonna come down here and hold. So pick one, or pick two to switch between if you need to. Otherwise, I'd like you to focus on a hold. Now remember which side you did. We're going to come to a regular elbow plank next, and then do the other side, okay? So I need you to remember which side you just did right now. Hold that in your head. Come to a regular elbow plank, so this can be on your knees or your toes. So let's come to our elbows. Toe tap, toe tap. If you're on your knees, same thing, toe tap, just stay on one knee, toe tap, knee. Toe tap, knee. So again, this is our balance or stability section. So I want you to work on core, balance, and stability. We are engaging our abdominals and warming up the body, continually bringing, I can so talk today. Continuously bringing heat to the body. I can talk. So I'm on my knees and my elbows and my abs are on fire and I'm just tapping side to side. It's okay to be on your knees. Don't feel like you have to be on your toes. Okay, let's switch to the other side. This is supposed to be that you're nice, active recovery class, okay? So we're side plank. Again, on your toes and your elbow, on your knee on your elbow, on your toes on your hand on your knee. Most important thing is just find that hold, lift your hip, get yourself in a straight line, no matter what position you chose, from the top of your head to either your knee or foot, okay? A nice straight line. So I don't want my saggy hip, I want it lifted, straight line. Your chest is open, your shoulders are stacked, so you don't want to be rotated forward. Draw your shoulder blades together in the back, lift your hip. Good form. We're going to take a tabletop position and tap a shoulder, tap a shoulder. Your option here is to curl your toes under, lift your knees, tap your shoulder, tap your shoulder. And then your goal is to not rock your hips. If you'd like to alternate, knees up, tap, tap, knees down, tap, tap. As you build your strength, that is fine, okay? If you'd like to keep your knees up for a little bit longer, keep them up a little bit longer, okay? I want you to try at least one shoulder tap with your knees up. Trying to keep them from rocking. Fan your toes across the floor. Don't rely on just your big toe for this one. Release to your knees. Let's go bird dog. So opposite arm, opposite leg reaches. You hold. Switch sides. Bird dog balance. Core tight. Shoulders and hips face the ground. Squeeze your glute. Point your toe. Shoulder blade retracts towards your midline. So you want to make sure that you're drawing your shoulder blade back, reaching through your fingertips, reaching through your toe. If you lose your balance, start again. Reset your body. Maybe you need to get your knees wider. Maybe your knees aren't under your hips, check it. Maybe your hands aren't underneath your shoulders, check it. Sometimes we fall because our alignment is off. Sometimes we fall because we're not squeezing our glute or our abs. Make sure you're squeezing, contracting, pause. We're headed into our flexibility section next. So we're going to work on our adductor, which is our inner thigh. You're going to take your leg out to the side. You're going to breathe here for a second. And then we're going to thread the needle, okay? So we'll do one side first. We have two moves or poses for it, and then we'll do the other side. Yes. Sorry, just reading my notes. I'm like, why am I back? Okay, we're good. We're good. We're all good. Why does it feel like a Monday today for me? All right. Still coming out of this head fog that I've got going on for sure. Okay. I missed maybe. Hold on 1 second. I'm waiting for the clock to change, and I really, hold on. Need to go back one if I can. There we go. Okay. Leg out to the side, you're on your knee. Thank you for your patience with me today. You can rock forward and back a little bit, and then go ahead and find a spot, thread the needle, lay your shoulder arm down, you can lay the side of your head down. Then we're going into an angled pose. So we're going to reach our hands towards our foot and let our hips sink back, okay? This should feel amazing on your lats, right here. All of our bent over flies, bent over rows, works our lats. If you've been doing pull-ups, it works our lats. All right, let's walk our way out of it and head to the other side. So leg to the other side. This arm that the leg is out threads through. You can kind of lay your shoulder and your cheek on the floor. Reach, 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 like you're reaching under the couch to grab a remote. We've all done it. We've all done it. This should feel amazing. This should open up your shoulders. When we get real tight, we get real tense. We've been sitting, we've been driving, we've been sitting at a computer. It helps with that. All right, reach, angled pose towards the same leg, the same direction as your leg. This should also feel amazing, opening up the muscles down your side and your back. As well as your inner thigh, you guys. Let's not forget about this inner thigh that's out to the side here. All right, go ahead and come back to all fours. Take your right knee up. You can take your arms overhead. You can take your arms in prayer. We're going to rock forward and back, opening up our hip flexor here, okay? And if you'd like, you can rotate open once you get there. If your hands are overhead, you can reach, and rotate. A little bit of balance as we flex right here, okay? I'm going to come back to prayer hands, keep them right in the center, and do my rotation this way. So play around with it, do what works for you here. You need to hold a little bit longer, hold a little bit longer. All right, coming into a runner's lunge. So you can stay with your knees, one knee down, one knee up, or you can straighten your back leg in a true runner's lunge here, okay? Open up your gait, open up your stance. So you saw me move my foot from here to here, so I can open up my hips a little bit more. I can wrap through my leg, open up my knee. Play around a little bit here in this lunge, okay? If you need to drop your back knee and open up, that's fine too. If you have a straight leg in the back, I want you to pull your heel towards the back of the room, elongate your calf muscle. You drop your knee and you do the wrap, open up your hip, let the weight of the knee open up there. Play around with it a little bit. This is 1 minute of a hold, so if you want to stretch and move around a little, you can. Lower your back knee, drop down, oops, there we go, to a 90-90 pigeon. That's what my goal was to get down to a 90-90 pigeon. So back leg bent 90 degrees, front leg bent 90 degrees, hold forward. You'll feel this in your front hip. You can get your forearm parallel to your shin. And now turn yourself towards your bent leg and reach forward, fold here, okay? You'll feel it a little bit more in your back hip. You'll feel it in your front hip. You'll feel it in both. But now you feel it in your back hip before you did it, okay? So twist, open. Now listen, you can come back to your forward fold in 90-90 or stay here. That is up to you. Okay. We're going to do all of what we just did now on the other side. So our other leg comes forward. We're going to do our rock and roll. One knee down, one knee up. Not full rock and roll. Hip rock forward. Rock back. Rock forward. We'll save our full rock and roll towards the end, okay? We still got that to come. Forward, rotate, open. So again, it's your hip flexor we're focused on here. We use that for so many things. It gets really tight, especially the more we sit. I've been hearing, I mean, it's been around for a while, but it's true. It's like they say sitting is the new smoking, okay? It's a bad habit. We need to get out of it and stop sitting so much. All right, we're back to our runner's lunge on this side. So hands come down on the instep. You can open up your foot a little bit more. Straighten out your back leg, heel to the back wall if you'd like. So this is our hold. If you're just like plain and simple, I just want to hold it. Stay here. If you want to add more, open up your hip, your knee. You can wrap your hand over here. You can drop your back knee, and then wrap it open. Hold so it gives you a little bit more balance as you flex through your hips. Okay? So just play around here. Get a nice deep stretch. Where do you need it? Give yourself that joy of stretching it out. Hopefully this is a joyful, like slightly uncomfortable yet joyful class for you. Slightly uncomfortable just means that, wow, we really need to work those areas. Come down to your 90-90. It's slightly uncomfortable for me because of all the tight parts of my body, but it's joyful because I know in the long run it's going to be really good for me. All right, so you're folded forward in your 90-90 pigeon. And then walk your hands towards your bent leg side, okay? And you can reach out as far as you can. You're just gonna have to find that sweet spot, and then this opens up your whole back hip. You have two things left to do here. Walk your way up. Get yourself in a butterfly pose. You can hold on to your ankles, and we're gonna do a little roll and sit up. So, oh, this is the butterfly roll. This is a butterfly roll. It's like that song, probably, oh gosh, was it the 80s or the 90s? It's like, no, dip, baby, dip. It's like the Tootsie Roll, right? But I swear it's like cotton candy, sweet to go, let me see you, Tootsie Roll. And I swear they just do something about like butterfly, butterfly, and maybe I'm wrong. And maybe you have no idea what I'm saying right now. And that's okay. I found that out last night during Soul Fusion class in person. There was a song that came on and nobody knew it but me, and I was like, oh dear. So maybe you don't know the Tootsie Roll song. Butterfly, butterfly, right here. All right, go ahead and straighten all the way out. Come out to a T, bend your knees, so walk your heels in, and let's rotate, dropping our knees side to side. This is it, and then you're done listening to me talk, and we're gonna go on. Okay. This is why I need music on, so that I'm not the one rambling and talking. All right, knees drop side to side. Try to keep your knees together. Almost like they're stuck like glue. Keep your shoulders on the ground. So when you're trying to keep your knees together and keep your shoulders on the ground, you might not actually tap both knees or your knees to the ground, okay? That's just a goal. Let the weight of your legs open up your spine. Finishing opening up your hips. All right, knees to the center, and hug them into your chest. You guys, we did all of the stretching, so we don't have to cool down and stretch or anything like that. I'm just gonna have you hold your knees into your chest. Rock yourself up to sit. Take a nice deep breath here, and I will see you tomorrow for cardio, okay? So tomorrow we have new cardio countdown. It'll be amazing. We will sweat a lot. We will move a lot. We will work on our endurance and our stamina. So I will see you back here tomorrow at 8:30. It will be a 30-minute class. And then Thursday's replay day, Friday's replay day, Saturday's replay day, and then Sunday Soul Fusion bonus class coming at you as our new Soul Fusion class. So have a great day. Thanks for joining me. I hope you feel better now than when we began. And I'll see you back here tomorrow. Bye, guys.